have to show you this property. It is really cool. Wide open. So that's one of our trucks all the way out there at the road. Frank's truck back here at the house. And this whole piece of land right here is on a peninsula. So you can see water all back in through there. It's really, really cool. So I have to show you what this property looks like before I even talk to you about a pond. We are starting in on a 38 by 12-ish pond. It's gonna have an intake bay. It's gonna have 2 urns, a pretty cool waterfall, different fish caves, destination rocks, all kinds of cool stuff. But check out this property. It just, amazing view. So believe it or not, so we're in Suffolk right now, and that's Suffolk over there, but all of this water, this is actually owned by Norfolk. This is where Norfolk gets their drinking water, and they bought it from Suffolk years ago. Look, but just look at that view. Just going out there and then out over here. Really, really cool property. So here's what we're doing. We've got Sonny in the machine. We've got Sean and Matt down here. We are putting in an intake bay right now. So that's what they're working on. They've got their aqua blocks set up. They've got their pump vaults. So this is where our pump will be housed. It's gonna be down in here. So our pump's gonna be in there. All these aqua blocks are gonna kind of be stacked in and kind of, yeah, there you go. See, Evan's showing us what it's gonna look like. So all those aqua blocks will be piled in on top of there. And then we're gonna have rock and then boulders around it. And that's gonna be set at the perfect height to just pull water off of this pond right into there. And this is just a really low maintenance way to install a skimmer. Because a lot of times what will happen with the skimmers will pull that water off of the pond and they'll get clogged. So if you're away on vacation or you're out of town or something, your skimmer backs will end up getting clogged. And then if you don't have somebody there to empty it or take care of it, now you're stuck and your fish, the pump's gonna get clogged, and you're gonna need to just make sure that it's a low maintenance pond and make sure that the pond doesn't get clogged. So over here, you can kind of see where they've kind of outlined our first shelf there. This is gonna be about 36 inches deep. And we're gonna have an urn sitting right here because eventually this is gonna be pavered in. This is gonna be pavers right here, and they'll be able to sit right here, look out over the pond, out into this area. But there's also gonna be an urn right here just to bring that sound a little bit closer to this space. And then right where Sonny's sitting, he's kind of perched up on a mound. Behind him is going to be our waterfall with another urn incorporated into it. So this is gonna be our berm. Our pond's gonna come all the way back into somewhere in here. It's about 32 feet long. And then our waterfall will come crashing down and turn into the pond. And we'll use outcropping rocks on the outside of this whole thing. We'll have an urn set back here. And all this waterfall is aimed right there. And you know what's behind that window right there? Behind that window is the kitchen sink. That's the most important view of this entire pond. This waterfall is all aimed straight right there so that when she's sitting at the kitchen sink, she can look right out over this pond and check out the beautiful waterfall. His spot is right here, the pergola where he can sit out and look at the fish. And then of course, the lighting. You can't miss the lighting. So our waterfall and our urns are gonna be on one color changing zone. So they can have blue set up on the waterfall, and then the interior of our pond is gonna be set up on a separate zone. So the zone in here, if they wanna have that orange or green or whatever color they want, that'll be the color on the inside, and then our waterfall and urns will be yet another color. So this is a pretty cool, in-depth, lots of features. It's gonna really, really set off their backyard, the pool that they already have. Of course, all this water is epic, but people that live on the water gotta have more water, and we're here to help with that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll show you what it looks like as we go along. It's lunchtime out here on this beautiful property in Suffolk, and I want to show you guys how this pond is coming along and what we are working on. Like, I don't know if you remember from my first video, the view in this backyard was just absolutely fantastic. You know, it's out on a point, out on a peninsula. They already have a pool back here. They already have a wonderful view of the water. But every person who's got water always needs just a little bit more water, right? So we're taking a break for lunch right now. I want to show you guys what we're looking at right now. So this is going to be roughly a 32 by 12 pond with a pretty cool waterfall, some urns built into it, color changing lighting, an intake bay, all kinds of really cool features. So it's a little bit deeper than our normal pond. So we're going down to 36 inches. Most of our ponds are right at 12. So this is a little bit deeper, so you can kind of see we're using a lot more, you know, big rocks on the bottom here and really giving it some kind of meat to the pond. So you can kind of see right here where these rocks are right there, where my two fingers are pointing. That's actually our weir. And so this is our intake bay. And this is really a glorified skimmer. So what happens is we've got our pumps that are kind of tucked back there and hidden away. The water gets pulled in, and this is a false bottom in here. It's actually empty underneath there with aqua blocks. Like that right there. See that aqua block right there? So that whole area is filled with aqua blocks. And as the water comes in, it kind of has a chance to swirl around right there. And then any debris also gets trapped in that area right there. And then you can just scoop it out with a pool net. So if you're on vacation or going away for a while, it just gives you a really good opportunity to not have to worry about the pond and worry about getting the debris out. So I'll kind of show you what this looks like in here. So you can see down in there, there's our pump housed all the way at the bottom. So you can see it's down pretty deep compared to where our cobble is. And that's what kind of is gonna pull that water in and make sure that none of the debris gets down into the pump. And because of the cobble that'll be stacked on here, any debris that does get down and come back around to where our waterfall is, we're gonna have a settling chamber in the actual waterfall. You know, our biofalls, they have a chamber. So any debris that does make it through that kind of filter gets trapped here in our filter system. And it actually, you know, can be cleaned out once a year or every couple years, and it's not a big deal because it's small at that point. So you can see it's a long, a little bit narrow. We've got our intake bay right here, and then we've got an urn that's going to go right here. So this is going to be a seating area here with 3 swings around it, so they'll be able to swing, hang out right beside the pond. It's going to be a really, really cool spot. We have an urn right there, which is right here next to Sean. That urn right there is actually going to go right in this spot. It's going to have cobble and rock all around it, splashing, doing its cool, crazy thing. And then all that is going to come from right here, where our waterfall is going to step down into the pond. And like I mentioned in my first video, our most important view is this window right here. So that window is really just focused right in this area where we've built our berm. And if you can kind of see, this is our berm right here. So that all is going to be rocked in, mulched, in a planting bed with the waterfall kind of crashing down the front side. There's a lot of really cool things in here, like our auto doser, color changing lights, the urns, all kinds of really fun stuff that we are incorporating in this water feature to partner with the pool and the property and really just tie this whole space in. And most importantly, bringing nature right to their hangout area, right beside their pergola and in their backyard. Really excited how this is turning out. I really appreciate you guys following along, and I'll show you guys when we've got some water running. Thanks. So I'm sure you remember this property with the awesome water view looking out over, actually Norfolk's water. It's not Suffolk's water. I'm in Suffolk, but we're looking out over Norfolk's water because they apparently own this lake. But anyway, I'm sure you remember the water that I showed you. I'll have to show you one more time before I show you the pond because it is pretty cool. I mean, that's the view right there, right? And I'll get to the pond in a second, but epic view. I mean, sunsets, sunrises, the coloring, fantastic view. So the guys finished this up on Saturday of last week. I'm just now having an opportunity to come out here and show you what it looks like. They are still doing a little bit of landscaping. Our clients are, homeowners are, still doing a little bit of landscaping, but the actual pond itself is complete and waiting for their aquatic plants. I'm sure you can hear that water in the background. On this pond, we have about a 9,000 gallon an hour pump and we also have a 5,000 gallon an hour pump. So we're definitely moving some water on this one. It ended up being a 32 by 12 with an intake bay and some special urns. So this is what we got. Color changing lights, 2 separate circuits. So the water right now is pretty murky, and that's just because all this rock was just picked out of the mountains. So it takes a minute for it to get washed off and kind of get cleaned and get scrubbed and to get all that sediment off. But this is what we've got right now. So from here, about 32 feet. And then at the widest points here and here, it's about 12 feet. Now check out this. So up here is our kind of the heart of the system. We've got our 2,500 and our 6,000 biofalls, and these are the heart. You know, these are where the bacteria can grow, where it can colonize. It's going to come on the bioballs and come up through there. The bacteria will cleanse and clean the water, eating up extra nutrients. Then it'll flow down and then flow down into the pond. We built this urn right here, just kind of cut it in, just to add just a little bit of interest, so that when she's in the kitchen right here and looking out this way, she's got something to look at. Additionally, when they're all sitting out here, they're gonna have some swings on this set right here, and they're looking out. They've got their urn right here, coming out and looking out over this falls. So you can't see it, but this is a little bit deeper as well than most of our ponds. So this is ended up being about 36, just maybe a little bit over 36 inches deep. So we've got some big rocks down in here showing off, and you can kind of see there's some lights in there, really bright lights down in the bottom of this. So at night, you'll definitely be able to see through the water, see the fish swimming around. This urn's lit up on the front and the back side. So this is our intake bay. And the intake bay, kind of the purpose is you can kind of see the debris kind of swirling around and kind of doing its thing right in here. The idea of this debris, you know, this intake bay is so that that debris gets kind of skimmed off the surface, pulled into here. But a normal skimmer basket, you know, might get clogged after just, you know, a day or two in, you know, a heavy fall situation. So what the intake bay does is it gives just a lot more area for that, you know, debris to kind of swirl around before it settles. It gives you an opportunity to kind of just use a pool net and scoop it out. But instead of having to come out here in the fall every day, now you can come out, you know, maybe every 2 weeks, maybe every week, and kind of clean it out. And it just gives you a little bit more time. Let me show you guys this waterfall. It's just a really cool eddy that they found this rock, and they just, I mean, this is one piece of rock with a bowl in it. Really cool. And then here's kind of like a slide fall right here, just a little secret falls right there. Another one. I really love the striations on this rock and how it has all that texture and angling. It looks really good. Sets it off. Anyway, I could spend hours here just showing you all the cool little things about this water feature, but we are excited every day to be able to build these water features. We love bringing this peace and tranquility and the ability for people to see fish and hang out with wildlife and bring the local pollinators and the beneficial insects to their yard. It's really fun. They have a granddaughter that's going to be really enjoying this space and going to be able to you know, skip rocks across the water and get in and out of it and play in the stream. So being able to do that for somebody makes our day. I really appreciate you guys watching and following along. I'll see you guys on the next one.